Hey, what's up? Welcome to Unboxtimus Prime, and today we have the Toys R Us exclusive Masterpeice MP10 Optimus Prime in all of its glory sitting right in front of you. So as per usual, let's put Optimus aside and we'll talk about this sexy beast later, and let's take a look at the box. We have a nice picture of Optimus in truck mode right there. And there's a good old picture of him right here. Optimus Prime. Let's tilt up just a little bit so we can take a look at that. So there we go, we have Optimus Prime right there with his axe and his gun. Over here we have Transformers going up the side of the box. We have the Autobot logo here, Generations it says underneath. We got Japanese writing right here, and it is the Masterpeice, as it says right there. We take a look on this side here. We have part of the Autobot logo, as well as the seal of approval that it is a Toys R Us exclusive. And it's ages 8 and up from Hasbro. So if we flip the box over here, you can see that we have different photos. There's Optimus right there with the Matrix in his chest. We have a little figure right here that can go into Optimus's driver's seat right there, as well as some of the additional accessories that come with the trailer. This is actually inside the trailer, so we'll take a look a little bit on that when we pop the trailer open. And then here's one thing you can do with Optimus right there, is you can put him inside the trailer. Again, we'll take a look at that when we get the trailer open. Some more there. Just says Transformers Masterpeice, some Japanese writing, and same thing on the top, Japanese writing. So if you can find a box that's slightly dented like this one in Toys R Us, they will give you a gracious 10% off. Can't go wrong with that, and you can save some additional money. And let's take, you can't forget the legal garb right there, and the warnings, Hasbro, and UPC. So let's put the box aside and take a look at Optimus in truck mode. So here we have Optimus in all of his G1 glory. We have Optimus Prime in his original G1 truck mode, as well as the trailer. So why don't we take a look at the trailer first, and then we'll get to the big guy himself. To get this trailer standing right, what we're going to do is actually, oh, you can hear a surprise in there. I'm going to flip these bits out here, and there's also, just like a regular trailer, they have little stands in the front here. You can get this guy out. So there you go, now he can stand up just like so. So if we take a look at the trailer, we have a Autobot logo right there. There's some nice engraving inside the plastic right here, inside the mold. It kind of gives it like a nice three-dimensional feel. The color scheme is very classic with the blue and the white, as well as the Autobot symbol being red, because it is. We can turn the trailer. Let's take a look at the wheels. The wheels are actually rubber, and they roll really nicely. They just spin for days like a fidget spinner. The rims here are actually really nice. They're chrome colored. They're actually not metal, they're plastic. But they actually make it look like chrome really well, especially with the bolts that go in here to keep the tire on. There's actual tread marks on the rubber tire here, giving it a little more authentic feel. If we flip the trailer over, we got your usual trailer doors right here, which actually open up. The lights back here are not painted for once. They're actually plastic, and they have very nice detail to actually look like brake lights. So you can see they're actually individually separated in there, and they have lines going down to give a nice texture. We have the bumper, of course. A lot of nice detail going on in the plastic right here with the door handle to give it like that mock hinge that you can just take it and slide over, as well as other additional locks that are on a truck here with the hinges. That's really nice. And it's pretty much the same exact thing on the other side. So we have the three-dimensional plastic here. I like calling it three-dimensional plastic. I don't know why. It's just cool. If you take a look, we have a spare tire right there. That's actually really cool. It's just solid plastic that's in the mold itself. Then we have the axle in the back half of the truck. And you can see that the tires are really nice. If you take a closer look at that, there's nice tread lines in there. Very cool. And then over here we have some stuff. you know, that usual stuff that's always on it. And then here we have where the trailer actually hitches on to Optimus. And it fully rotates. They're just pegs that actually go into the back of Optimus and they hook in, and then he can fully drive around with full articulation, being able to turn left and right. And right here are the extra stands that they fold up right in there. All you gotta do is just pop those out like so, like I did earlier. Okay, so now we're at the back of the trailer. Let's pop these doors open. And what do we have here? Some cool stuff. We're actually gonna pull out the ramp that's in the back here, which is really cool. So that's out. We have Roller. Look at that. That was a very, very dramatic entrance. So why don't we just take a look at Roller real quick. So let's take a look. We have the driver, Spikewit Wiki, who's at the wheel. It's really cool, this little figure. We'll take a quick little look at him. He's a tiny little guy. This is like the male version of Polly Pocket right here. It's really cool. Just slot him in there. And we'll take a look at him more in detail, in brief detail, in a second. But we have Roller. It's really full-on G1. Really nice. The wheels are actually really nice. He rolls. That's why he's called Roller, right? So if we take a look at the back here, actually, I can get this to open. This actually opens up like so. There's a little piece here that flips up like that. Tabs into place. You can shut the door. You can probably fold that back down. So this bit here is actually so you can hook it up to the trailer, so Roller can actually wheel the trailer around. Roller wheel the trailer. Roller wheel the trailer. Say that 10 times fast. I dare you. Put it in the comments below. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to pull this back down here. And we're going to flip that back around. Pop that up there. But we're actually, what you can do is you can take Optimus's gun. This thing is really cool. I like this thing. It's got a button right here and it's all spring loaded. And it just goes, pa-choom. Look at that. They don't make them like they used to, I swear. But what you can do with the gun is you can actually just slot it right in there. So you have like a little cannon that's on top of Roller, like so. So, you know, you can go, we'll take the gun out for now. Fold it back up like so. Slots into place. I'm going to put that aside. So let's put Roller to the side with Optimus so they can roll along. Okay, so let's take a look at the trailer. You can kind of see on the inside there, pretty much your standard trailer on the inside. The ramp, as you saw before, actually slides in and out, so you can put it up like that, and then you can slide it back in. And the doors actually open and close, but I'm going to keep them open for now. So we're going to pop this guy open, but I'm going to let the other hands of the video take care of that. Jim, would you please?
Absolutely. Maybe.
There we go. So we have essentially a little mobile command center, which is really cool. I'm going to actually just bring this slightly closer like this. You can see a lot of the detail that's in the plastic. We're going to go into more detail in just a little bit on that. But one thing I want to showcase right here in the front, as I smacked the microphone, sorry if you heard that. So you can see there's a little turret that's actually right here. So I'm actually going to raise that up. And it's got that nice click. You know it's a Masterpeice when it clicks. It's also got a little claw arm here, which is really cool. Goes back and forth. And the claw actually opens up like so. You can't see that because it's off camera. So let me just flip that up there a little bit. And you can see the top of the set. That's okay. Production challenges. But the claw here itself actually opens and closes, which is really cool. So you can role play and possibly put anything in the clutches of the claw. So we can actually turn the turret here a little bit, and we'll take a look at that. So a little better view of the turret here. We also have a little satellite that pops up. It spins around like so, which is really cool. So boop, 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 boop. So if we move the claw aside here for a second, we can actually open up the turret like so. And we can take Spike over here. There we go. So we can take Spike here. And we can position him like so. And we can sit him in the turret. Close it down. And he's ready to go. He's ready to fire on any Decepticon that comes along. So one nifty thing about the trailer, there are actually little tabs on both sides here. There's one right here. If you push that down, like so, until it snaps down. There's another one on the other side right here. What you can do is reposition Spike here in the turret, like so. You can actually close the trailer. So if you get him into position like so, you can actually close the top of the trailer and just have the turret sticking out, like so. We can turn it around here. We can turn Spike around, swivel him around there if you want, and he's ready to fire. So it also has a full range of motion. You can do like a full 360. Has slight articulation going up, and just a little slight articulation to go in a downward motion. Because obviously you'd be shooting Optimus in the back of the head. That's not cool. You can see a little Spike in there, right there in the gunner seat. So that is pretty much the trailer. Let's get on to the main man himself. So here we have the main man himself, Optimus Prime, G1 that is. And this thing is, I can't even describe it. Just the sheer weight alone of this thing makes it so worth the money and buying. Like, you actually have to see this and hold this thing in person in order to really appreciate the detail and the craftsmanship that went into this. So I'm going to just take a little spin around here, and then we'll go into the finer detail. Switch to hands. Do a full 360. Now the MP01 actually has a little bit more die-cast metal in it, more than this one, but still for a new re-release, this is actually fantastic. And there are some die-cast parts on here as well. Take a look at that. Alright, so now let's get into the nitty-gritty close-ups. We take a look at the front. This is the face of Optimus Prime, at least in truck mode. Your old-school G1 truck. You see there's a lot of nice engraving in the mold here. Got like bolts right here. Even got windshield wipers that are on there. We come around here to the door. One cool thing that this actually has is the flip out mirror, like so. That's really cool. So as pretty much as any other one, there's a little bit of the transformation right here, but it's still pretty well hidden. It blends fairly nicely. We have the Autobot logo there. We have nice detail on the tire here, and it's all the tires are rubber as well on Optimus, and you have nice tread marks going on there as well. We have the gas can here. I think that's a gas can. I don't know my trucks. That's sad. One of the cool things, we have like little steps of some sort that are going up the side of the truck here. Take a look. You can see a little bit of Optimus's torso right here. That's okay. It still works. Smokestacks in the back, the exhaust pipes. Kind of wish these would have been metal. They're a little bit, they're plastic, but you know what? They still have that nice sheen to it to make it look like chrome. If we take a look at the back side, it's a little out of whack there, but that's okay. That's really nice. You can actually see the supposed, taillights back here are actually transparent. They're not painted on. And they have really nice detail to make them look like actual taillights, which is really cool. Take a look at the top real quick. You can see this is where the trailer actually slots into. Really cool. See a lot of detail that's engraved into the mold back here behind the tire. Nice little ladder that's going up the side here, so when you go to hitch it on the trailer to the back of the truck, you can climb up there. It's really cool. Another little gas tank there. Take a look at the top real quick. Just standard flat top. The lights here are painted on, but the windows are actually transparent in the front. That's cool. You can actually see on the inside. An additional feature that makes this thing really, really cool is you can actually pop this open here. And there's a little driver's seat. And guess who gets to go in there? My man Spike. Pose him into seating position. Pop him right in there. Close the door. And now you have Spike sitting in the driver's seat. So now that we have Spike in the seat, we're going to make him car sick and flip him over. You can see the underside. We have nice detail engraved in the plastic down here. Make it look like truck parts, which is really cool. And we have the underside, or pretty much the front of Optimus right there. And then if you look closely in there, you can see the matrix of leadership hanging out in there, which that is actually made out of die-cast metal. But when we get him into robot mode, we will go into more detail on that and get a closer look. But I like how it's nicely tucked away behind the grill right there. So let's take one last look at Optimus in truck mode, because this is G1 right here. They need to bring G1 back, because this is Optimus Prime. Alright, so let's do our usual, transform him into Prime himself. Cue epic transformation! So after that epic transformation, let's take a look at Optimus Prime. And I don't even want to touch this thing because look at it. It is beautiful. And as I mentioned before, the one thing I have to keep mentioning is the sheer weight of this thing. This thing is really heavy. But let's get closer into the details. You can see we have the grill here. That was on the underside of the truck. And it's plastic. But it's got that nice sheen, that nice robot sheen. You can even see like a little bit of the reflection in the background of that. We have the windows there. Just that old school G1 geometric shapes. Everything was always a box in some way, some form or another. Everything always had that box shape, which made it so much nicer than most of the angular million part ones that they have now in the Transformers movies, all the Bay movies. But this thing is just, this is G1 right here. You're looking at G1. It doesn't get any better than this. You know, there's no school like old school. I'm actually going to turn him around here a little bit. I'll give you a little 360. This thing is massive. Yeah, you almost fell over. But again, let's go back into some of the detail. We actually have pretty clear, transparent plastic right here, so you can see some inner metal, like parts of the car or more parts of Optimus, which is yellow. Really nice. See, he has an arrow on his crotch. That's interesting. So if we keep taking a look at the figure here, as part of him kind of opens up, we have nice like little exhaust vents. They look like exhaust vents down here, which is really cool. If you guys just look at the sheer size of this is all. It almost kind of feels like a 1-to-1 ratio if Optimus Prime actually existed. The feet are massive. You can see we have the feet down here. They actually do move, but we'll go into the articulation in just a moment. We have the wheels that are hidden in the back here, which is typical. It's really nice. Then we have his backside right here. We have the chrome bits that were in the front. That's right here. We have nice engraving into the plastic mold right here and on the upper part of his butt. So we have this extra little bit behind Optimus right here. If we actually pull this down, this is a great place for weapon storage, right in there. So I'll take his gun that's right here. You just slot that in like so. And then you can just pop that in. You're good to go. A little part of it sticks out right there, but that's still cool. So that way all you got to do is just take this and just pop it down. Bam, gun right there. But I'm going to leave it in there just for a second while we continue to look over the figure. And then we'll go into the accessories afterwards. So we have a nice detail going on in the arms, especially since, like I said, all the G1s were all pretty much geometric squares, triangles, a few spheres here and there, but this is really nice. We have your typical gold right there, the yellow. That little golden arrow. I always used to love that. It always reminded me of pointing to his hands. I don't know, that's how I always remembered it for some strange reason. Think of Optimus, you think of the arrow pointing to his hand. We have the smokestack, or the exhaust vent right here. And these actually, like when you transform them, you know, they still go up and down. Take a look a little more in the pelvic area here. See there's some extra detail engraved in the plastic there. And this thing is just super nice. Like, it's even got the ladder still engraved in the foot right there. The bottom half of the leg. It's a ladder that goes on the back of the trailer. I mean, if you just take a look at the size of this. Like, you know, my hand is, this is my hand. I have a large hand. And he fits like my entire hand. It's that detailed in size. So that is pretty much the figure, but we're going to get in a little closer. So let me readjust for a split second, and we're going to do the big reveal. So let's take a quick look at the head sculpt. I'm going to bring it in a little closer. See, it's really nice. Typical G1 Optimus. And I'm loving the blue eyes on this compared to the original Takara version. It's very nice. Kind of makes him look like a true leader. The faceplate here actually has some nice depth to it as well. It's kind of not one of those things that's like all molded into one and it's flat. This actually has some nice depth. You can see the little ridge right there. And even on the nose, if we get in a little closer, the nose has quite a bit of detail right there. There's like a little, I don't even know what shape that is, but that tiny little detail makes the face that much better. So let's do the big reveal. As you all know, Optimus Prime is the leader. So if we open up his chest piece right here, so if we grab this piece right here, we could flip it up to reveal the matrix of leadership. It's tucked away nicely in there. Let's see if we can get this guy out. Let's take a quick look at it. Okay. Keep Optimus there. Now this is die-cast metal. This is the real deal. And it's got nice copper color with the chrome. And again, this is... Let me get closer to the microphone. Listen. That's die-cast metal for you. It's a lost art. See the little crystal on the inside? Well, actually, it's not a crystal. It's supposed to be the spark. But, you know, obviously it's a toy, so it kind of looks like a crystal, but the spark actually is nice. And when the light passes through the back here, it kind of gives it a little glow, which is absolutely brilliant. A little bit that's right here on the side of the handles. This thing is absolutely beautiful. But let's return the matrix to the leader. So we're going to pop this guy back into here. And then we'll close that down. And we'll close them up. So now let's readjust and let's take a look at points of articulation. So let's go over points of articulation. So let's start with the arms. In the elbow, we have a hinge joint. You can't handle that. No, that's messed up. Sorry. So there's a hinge joint in the elbow here. And let's go down to the wrist. The wrist is on a swivel joint. And if we take a look at the fingers, the trigger finger here actually has several points of articulation individual right there. But the rest of the fingers are pretty much just stuck together, but they move to open the hand and as well as close the hand. The thumb pretty much is just there, just hangs out. Let's put his hand back in there. The shoulder has pretty much just a swivel joint, so you can go up and down like so. They kind of move back and forth, but this is pretty much just for the transformation, but they also kind of pop out for a little extra extension, so you can also do your side to side like so. So we'll pop that back in. Let's actually move downwards towards the hip, which is on a swivel joint. Well, it's actually pretty much on a universal joint. And that nice click. Oh, that click is sexy. I love that. So it's pretty much, like I said, on a universal joint. So you can move the hips out like so. You can move it back and forth. The knee is also on a pretty much a universal joint. It's got a hinge joint right here, which you can hear that sexy click. And it also kind of turns like so. A little swivel joint right down there, like so. I can't. This is sexy. So if we also go down to the foot or the ankle is actually on a little pivot joint right there, which not a lot of them actually have that, which is really nice. And the foot actually kind of moves a little bit, mainly for the transformation, but it still gives him a little more posability as well, which is really nice. And obviously same thing on the other side with the hip and the knee. And same right there. So if we move on to the head right here. So the head here pretty much has all range of motion. It can go up and down, so yes. And then it can also side to side, so no. It's got a little bit of tension when it goes side to side like that, but that's all right. And one cool thing about the head sculpt is that the little fins on the top here, I call them fins, but they actually move like that, which is really cool. You go forward and backwards. So you can probably do some sort of weird thing like that. Maybe he turned evil, so they go down. I don't know. That's always what I thought when I was a kid. So that is pretty much that. And also the weapon back here is just on like a little hinge joint right down there. Oh, and he's also got a little bit of a swivel in the hip there. So he can Elvis all day long. This is also used for the transformation as well. So he's got like a full 360 motion in the hips right there. All right. So with that aside, let's set him down for a second and let's take a look at the accessories. So let's take a look at the accessories. And in typical G1 fashion, Optimus always has his gun in the back. So that's what we'll take a look at. So we'll pull this bit down here. The gun is resting right in there. All we got to do is just pull it out like so. Put that back into place. And as I mentioned earlier, it's got that cool spring loaded mechanism in there. So you push the button here and just pow. Okay, so what we'll do is actually just rotate his hand here. Like so. Pop the gun in there. Just tab it in. That. Clicked in. And then you just close the fist. Like so. So now he's got his gun in hand. The next accessory we're going to take a look at is the axe. And this thing is actually really cool. It's pretty much transparent for the most part, especially in the axe here, but it gives it like a nice glow when the light hits it just right. Because you remember in the show, it was kind of like one of those things, like, I always thought it was a lightsaber, because it always had like that glowy lightsaber look to it. Notch right in here. This is where it actually slides in for the thumb. So if we just take it like so, just slide it on like that. And since his hand actually rotates, you can put it in whatever position you want. So we can put it in like a straight down, like he's ready to chop suey. So one last feature we're going to go over is with the trailer, which turns into his maintenance dock. Jim, would you please?
Absolutely.
And watch the magic happen. Here's that sexy click I like. So this is probably like my favorite part with the entire setup here. So this actually, again, turns into Optimus's maintenance trailer, which they did a fairly good job in the Michael Bay movie, but this one is just so classic. I like this a lot better. So all we got to really do is just take Optimus and pop him in place. Take him like so, and he just stands in here, which is really cool. Okay, so let's bring him forward a little more now we got him set up in there. So there's also weapon storage on here. So we have the axe. There's actually a little slot on the inside here. There's like a groove, as well as like a little opening right here. So all you got to do is just take this and just kind of pop that in there like so. So it kind of just hangs out in there like that. Let me actually bring this up a little bit more for you. So we have his gun here, which we took out off camera. That actually just slots in right here. Just like that. And there you have Optimus being repaired with his weapon storage. This is ridiculously nice. This isn't just a flat painted picture in the background. This is actual plastic. This is in the mold. This looks like it was carved out by hand. It should be worshipped by all. It's really nice. And just the level of detail and all the shapes. Right here, I'm going to just turn them over a little bit for you there. If we take a look, we have pretty much this little bit right here. Kind of looks like tread marks. And again, this is, yeah, that's in the plastic. That is part of this. This was molded in here. It wasn't glued on, it was molded. That's how excited I am about something like this. This is really great attention to detail. Really nice like piston looking things right up here. There's also some nice chrome detail going on in here. The first time I ever saw that, I just realized that that is what actually makes the trailer open and close, because I'm an idiot. But still, even just that little bit of actual mechanical function for the toy itself, it actually makes it pop really nicely for some strange reason, but that's just me. Extra details, like a little command center right here. There's actually nice detail. It looks like a keyboard. And they went all out on this thing here. They went completely all out. And the seat over there flips out, so you can probably put Spike in there, so it looks like he's controlling something, which is really nice. Thing going on. If we take this out, we can come here, we can pop this up. There's like another little seat that you could put another additional figure in there, or you could put Spike in there. He'd be doing his own little thing right there. So this is what we call attention to detail. This is how most toys should be made. This thing was really expensive, but you know what? It is totally worth it. So my overall final thoughts on this piece is, holy shit. Like, this thing is, I say it in every video, and this time I really, truly, absolutely mean it, because I've always wanted one of these things myself. This thing is amazing. The proportions are pretty much exactly correct. The insane amount of detail that they are able to put in a figure like this in comparison to the original cartoon show. It was all flat cel-shaded animation, and it's totally worth the money. Like, seriously, mow that lawn, do the dishes, pick up your dog's poop. I've said it once before. That's what you need to do. Please don't rob and kill somebody, because that's not cool. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Comment and subscribe. We love it. We love the fact that we have a whole bunch of new subscribers. We started out with a dinky little video in the beginning that we threw together real quick just to get used to the unboxing world. So I want to give a shout out to all the subscribers that we recently gotten. Thank you for the loving comments. We appreciate it. We try to get back to you as soon as we possibly can. And we'll definitely be doing more interaction. We're trying to not build a fan base. We're trying to build essentially a family. So again, please subscribe to us, spread us around, let everyone know who we are, and just stay tuned for more videos. And as usual, we will see you in the next one. Okay, so let's take the gun out of his hand. Hold on. Uh-oh. His finger just fell off.
No.
Yeah. Oh, easy. Tabs back into place.